Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we have an upper intermediate level lesson all about money.
That's right. We are going to be talking about money, but most importantly, we need to start saving money. We need to spend less.
Exactly. So in order to control spending, today we're talking about budgeting. So let's take a look at this very important word in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right. So as you mentioned, budgeting is, what is to budget?
To budget, that's the verb. So budgeting is deciding how to spend your money, okay? So that means that we prepare a plan for how to spend money.
All right. So that can be a noun and a verb. A budget is the plan on how you're going to spend money, and to budget is to execute this plan.
Exactly. So today we're budgeting a family's spending. We're trying to control how much this family will spend in the future.
All right, very good. So why don't we listen to this dialogue for the first time? Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Carnwell. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
So I understand that your family spending has skyrocketed and you want to start budgeting.
Yes, that's correct. Frankly speaking, our household income is relatively high, and we have never had any money problems. But I think this is the main reason as to why our spending has gone out of control.
We have 2 kids, and with allowances, paying their credit cards, ours, and not to mention our mortgage and car payments, with the recent economic downturn, my husband's business has suffered, and now we need some advice as how we can prepare a family budget.
I see. Well, you have come to the right place. First, what we need to do is determine your cash flow. Knowing how much money is coming in will help us allocate spending to different categories such as mortgage, education, groceries, etc.
Yes, that makes sense.
Secondly, I need you to bring all of your receipts for the last 2 to 3 months. That way we can determine what your average expenditures are and see which category you're spending money on the most. Usually, your fixed costs are higher and we can't do much about that. But we can usually trim your variable costs, such as entertainment or clothing.
Great! We will do that then. Now how about we treat you to a nice dinner?
That's another thing. If you really want to stop spending so much money, throw away at least half of your credit cards. All right, we're back. So there were some interesting words and phrases in this dialogue related to budgeting and a lot of, financial terms here. So let's get started now on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
This first term is very important because it tells us what kind of a budget we're talking about. We're not talking about a company here. We're talking about a family.
Right.
And so in this case, we use the phrase household. Okay, so what are we talking about? Household income.
All right. So income, we know, is the amount of money that comes in to maybe your wallet, right? My income, my personal income.
That's how much money you earn.
Okay. So a household income is how much money the house earns. So all the people that are living in this house, right?
That's right. So it could be a family. It could be 2 married people who are married to each other. So the idea is that it's not one person's income. It's the household income. Think of a house.
All right, so it's the combined income of everyone that's living there or that's making money that lives in this house.
Right, so if Marco and I have a household, I earn $10,000 and he earns $10,000. Our household income is $20,000.
Very good. All right. So then now we know that what our household income is. And in this case, we have children and we give our kids an allowance.
Okay, so I had an allowance when I was a kid. This is the amount of money I got from my parents every week. So I get, I think, $10 a week, and I could spend it on anything I wanted. And I didn't have to work because my parents gave the money to me. Okay. And so an allowance is this money. It's the money that mom and dad give to their children, maybe every month or maybe every week.
Now, it's not only related to children, right? Because maybe if you have a brother or maybe you're married and your wife is a housewife, maybe you give her an allowance, right? Or the opposite. Maybe you're a house husband and you get an allowance from your wife.
That's right. You can have an allowance if you're anyone. You can also have an allowance from your company if you go traveling. So if you have a business trip, your company gives you a food allowance. That's the amount of money you can spend on food. And you don't have to work for it. That's the best part.
Awesome. All right. So after these allowances, they were talking about, how the economic downturn has affected their income and their spending.
Okay, so down, you think this is a negative thing. You're right. Downturn means when a situation gets worse, okay, or slows down. And in this case, the economy is what got worse. And you remember this from last year. Things started to get very difficult for people who are in business. And this has affected families. And so we call the situation an economic downturn.
Now, the opposite would maybe an economic boom.
That's right. A boom is when things are going well. That means people are earning more money. There are more jobs.
All right, very good. And now moving on, as they were talking about budgeting, they mentioned this very important word, very technical, is to allocate money into different areas.
That's right, or allocate spending. This is a verb, to allocate. That means to decide where the money will go. Okay, so as the mother in a family, I will allocate 10% of the money to the children's allowances. That's a lot. 50% to the mortgage, 20% to the car.
Okay.
Car repairs.
So you're allocating your spending.
That's right. I'm deciding where to spend the money.
Okay. And well, talking about spending, we have this word expenditures.
Expenditures. And so this is a really important word if you're in business as well, because we consider expenditures when we're talking about how much a company earns. Expenditures are things that we spend money on. So remember that word, expenditures, spend.
Okay, so an expenditure. And this is a noun, and usually it's in the plural, expenditures.
Exactly, expenditures. So we have many expenditures at my house. Among them, we have the car, the rent, healthcare, things like that.
Okay, perfect. So really good phrases there, really good vocabulary items. Why don't we move on now to Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
We've got some very fun phrases today, Marco, in Fluency Builder. This first one is a very common phrase that we hear in songs and movies.
To skyrocket. All right. What is skyrocket?
Well, you think about a rocket, that's a ship that goes to space. To skyrocket means to go up really high, really fast.
Okay.
The price of gas has skyrocketed. So I remember when I was a kid, gas used to be 98 cents a gallon.
Wow, really?
And in the 2000s, the price skyrocketed, and it ended up being like $4 a gallon.
Yeah, it was really expensive. All right, so this is also, you can talk about sales have skyrocketed, or the price of petroleum has skyrocketed.
So it could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you're talking about.
All right. And now moving on, they said that their spending was out of control.
Yeah, so this family doesn't seem to understand how to budget. They spend on everything. And so the accountant says that your spending is out of control. That means that you're spending too much. There's no order to the way that you're spending.
And we actually have a previous lesson called Out of Control Spending, that we also touched this topic of what we talk about out of control. Something is out of control. A person can be out of control.
Like a child. This child is out of control. He never stops screaming and hitting people.
All right. And our last phrase for today, the accountant says, well, you've come to the right place.
Okay, this is the accountant bragging. He's saying, well, I can fix your problems. I can help you. You've come to the right place. You can use this in many different ways. For example, I have a problem maybe with my TV, and I say, Marco, oh my gosh, my TV doesn't work. I don't know what to do. Can you help?
Right, and I can say, well, you've come to the right place. I can fix your TV.
Marco's an expert in electronics.
All right, so you've come to the right place. It's a very common phrase, especially as you say when somebody's trying to brag and say, well, I know how to fix your problems, or I know what you need.
I'm good at this. You've come to the right place. If you want to learn English, you've come to the right place.
Exactly.
Englishpod.com.
All right, so let's listen to our dialogue for the last time. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Carnwell. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
So I understand that your family spending has skyrocketed and you want to start budgeting.
Yes, that's correct. Frankly speaking, our household income is relatively high, and we have never had any money problems. But I think this is the main reason as to why our spending has gone out of control.
We have 2 kids, and with allowances, paying their credit cards, ours, and not to mention our mortgage and car payments, With the recent economic downturn, my husband's business has suffered, and now we need some advice as how we can prepare a family budget.
I see. Well, you have come to the right place. First, what we need to do is determine your cash flow. Knowing how much money is coming in will help us allocate spending to different categories such as mortgage, education, groceries, etc.
Yes, that makes sense.
Secondly, I need you to bring all of your receipts for the last 2 to 3 months. That way we can determine what your average expenditures are and see which category you're spending money on the most. Usually, your fixed costs are higher and we can't do much about that, but we can usually trim your variable costs such as entertainment or clothing.
Great! We will do that then. Now how about we treat you to a nice dinner?
That's another thing. If you really want to stop spending so much money, throw away at least half of your credit cards. All right, we're back. So now talking about allowances. You said you had an allowance when you were a kid. Did you really have a $10 a week allowance?
No, I think it was like 8. It started out at $6 or $5 a week, and then I think the most I got was like 10 or 11.
Oh, wow. So it was like almost about $1 a day.
About that, but usually the point was that, well, I started working when I was 15 because my parents thought it was important for children to learn how money works. But I was given that money because at the time, it was enough money to go out one night. So on Friday nights, if I wanted to go out with my friends, I could go out to watch a movie and get a slice of pizza, and $10 was enough.
Okay.
Now $10 doesn't even buy you a ticket to the movie, but at the time it was more than enough.
So this is important, I guess, because, different families have different ways of upbringing their children, and in many cases, this doesn't happen, right? If I want to go out to the movies on a Saturday, then my parents will give me $30, and if I want to go out next weekend, they'll also give me money. So it's interesting to see the contrast, because obviously when I was a kid also I didn't really get this opportunity of going out all the time, and actually I had to work for it. So if I wanted to go out on the weekend, I would get an allowance, but also I would have to wash the car. That was typical with my dad. I had to wash the car.
Well, I think it's interesting because it shows that the parents want to teach their children about budgeting. Because if you only have $10, you really have to budget. You have to decide how you will allocate that money, even though it's not very much. So in some ways, it's good practice.
Yeah, it is. I think it's done us well. We're not in debt.
Not yet.
All right. So let us know how allowances work in your country, or maybe did you have an allowance when you were a kid? A lot of people didn't have an allowance. I know a lot of friends didn't get allowances. So come to our website, EnglishPod.com, and if you have any other questions or doubts, please leave them there as well.
We hope to hear from you. Until next time. Bye everyone.
Hi. Welcome. Are you ready to listen to our story? Let's dive into the world of money, not just any money talk, but the kind that can truly change your life. You know, a lot of people think money is just about numbers, about how much you earn or spend. But actually, money is all about habits, emotions, and the tiny choices we make every single day. Imagine standing in front of your favorite store window, seeing those brand new shoes or the latest phone. Your heart beats faster, your brain says buy it, and suddenly your wallet is lighter. That's the moment when we need to stop and think about budgeting. Budgeting isn't just a boring spreadsheet or a list of expenses. It's like building a protective wall around your dreams. You decide what really matters to you, and you give it power by putting your money behind it. Want to travel the world? Want to buy a cozy house? Maybe you dream of opening a small cafe? All of this starts with knowing exactly where every dollar goes. It's not about limiting yourself. It's about freeing yourself from stress and surprise bills that sneak up on you like a ninja in the night. When I first started budgeting, I thought it meant I'd never have fun again. No more dinners out, no more weekend getaways, no more little treats. But soon I discovered it was the opposite. I started to feel more in control, more confident, more excited to plan for things I actually wanted rather than things I just bought on a whim. I learned expressions like fixed costs. These are the non-negotiable things like rent or mortgage, utilities, insurance. And then there are variable costs. These are the flexible parts like entertainment, new clothes, and eating out. By cutting down on those, you can open up a whole new world of possibilities. A powerful phrase I started using is intentional spending. It means you don't let your money drift away like leaves in the wind. You guide it like a captain steering a ship toward a beautiful island. And trust me, once you start thinking this way, you'll notice how strong and independent you feel. You'll find yourself saying no to unnecessary things and yes to the future you want. So, next time you feel tempted to swipe your credit card without thinking, pause and ask yourself, is this helping me become the person I want to be? Or is it just another impulse that will make me regretful later? Remember, budgeting isn't a punishment, it's a gift you give yourself. Think about the word allowance. When we hear it, many of us remember being kids, waiting for that little bit of money from our parents every week. It felt like freedom, right? You could finally buy candy, a small toy, or maybe save it up for something big. But allowance isn't just for kids. In fact, adults use this concept all the time without even realizing it. For example, giving yourself a monthly fun allowance can be one of the smartest budgeting moves ever. Imagine this, you set aside a certain amount just for guilt-free spending, maybe on coffee dates, movie nights, or new books. You don't need to track every single dollar of that allowance because it's already budgeted. This is a brilliant way to avoid feeling restricted and still stay on track financially. You get to enjoy your life and feel in control at the same time. Another important idea is cash flow. It sounds fancy, but it's actually simple. Cash flow means the movement of money in and out of your life, your income coming in and your spending going out. If more money is flowing out than coming in, it's like a boat with a hole, you'll start to sink sooner or later. By keeping an eye on your cash flow, you make sure your financial boat stays afloat and sails smoothly. A lot of people feel embarrassed to talk about money as if it's some dark secret. But being open about it, even just with yourself, can be life-changing. You start to see patterns. Maybe you spend too much on takeout or unnecessary subscriptions you forgot about. You can ask yourself questions like, do I really need 5 different streaming services, or is this daily latte worth $150 a month? When you master the concept of cash flow and give yourself an allowance, you'll feel a new kind of power. You won't have to check your bank account in fear or feel that sinking feeling when your card gets declined. Instead, you'll feel confident and calm because you know exactly where your money is going. Use this chance to learn phrases like track your spending, stick to a budget, and prioritize expenses. These expressions are not just useful for speaking English, they're keys to unlocking a better, more peaceful life. Let's talk about something many people avoid, the idea of fixed costs and variable costs. These two little phrases can totally transform your relationship with money. Fixed costs are the expenses you have to pay every single month no matter what, like rent, mortgage, insurance, or loan payments. They are like the roots of a tree. They keep you grounded but also tie you down. You can't really change them quickly, so they require careful planning. On the other hand, variable costs are your flexible spending, groceries, entertainment, clothes, hobbies, and those random online shopping sprees. They're more like the leaves on a tree. They change, grow, or fall depending on the season and your mood. And this is where you have the most control and freedom to make changes. When I started reviewing my expenses, I was shocked to see how much money I was burning on small, silly things. One day, I realized I had subscribed to 3 different music apps, 2 fitness apps I never used, and I was eating out 5 times a week. That's when I learned the powerful expression, trim the fat. It means cutting out unnecessary expenses to become leaner and stronger financially. Just like athletes focus on trimming body fat to perform better, we can trim our budgets to achieve our financial goals faster. One fun exercise I like is to print out my bank statements for the last 3 months and grab some colorful highlighters. Use one color for fixed costs, another for variable costs, and another for total unnecessary spending. When you see the colors, it becomes crystal clear where your money is escaping. You might feel shocked, but that's a good thing. Shock is the first step to change. Also, think about the phrase living within your means. It's a classic piece of advice that means not spending more than you earn. It sounds simple, but many people struggle with it because of temptations everywhere, online ads, social media, friends showing off their new gadgets. When you master this idea, you start to feel more grateful for what you already have instead of constantly chasing more. Learning these practical money expressions not only improves your English but also makes you feel wiser and stronger. You'll start to understand phrases like cutting back, downsizing, and building a safety net. These aren't just words, they're tools for a calmer, more secure life. Imagine going to bed at night without worrying about bills or surprise charges. That peace of mind is priceless. Another concept that can totally shift your money mindset is emergency fund. It sounds serious because it is. An emergency fund is money set aside specifically for unexpected events, like your car breaking down, a sudden medical bill, or even losing your job. Think of it as a financial safety net that catches you when life throws you a curveball. When I first heard about an emergency fund, I thought it was only for rich people. But I soon realized it's exactly the opposite. It's something everyone needs, no matter their income. Even putting aside a small amount every month can build up over time and save you from going into debt or feeling panicked during tough times. This is when the phrase "pay yourself first" becomes powerful. Before paying your bills, before buying new clothes or going out, put money into your savings or emergency fund first. It might feel strange at first, but it's a game changer. It's like planting seeds for your future security and freedom. You'll feel proud every time you see that fund grow, even if it starts small. A friend of mine learned this lesson the hard way. He used to live paycheck to paycheck, spending every dollar as soon as he got it. One day, his car needed major repairs, and he didn't have any savings. He had to borrow money from friends, which felt embarrassing and stressful. After that, he started building his emergency fund, and now he feels unstoppable. Another useful phrase is rainy day fund. It's similar to an emergency fund, but sometimes people use it for smaller unexpected costs, like a last-minute gift or a sudden trip. These little cushions keep you from falling into financial traps. Besides being practical, talking about these topics in English gives you a chance to learn everyday expressions like set money aside, unexpected expenses, and financial cushion. These phrases are super common in real life, and mastering them makes you sound confident and natural. Remember, your future self will thank you for every dollar you save today. You'll feel calmer, more secure, and ready to handle whatever life surprises you with. This is real freedom, not the freedom to buy anything at any moment, but the freedom to live without fear. Now, let's explore a topic that really changes the game: conscious spending. This means being fully aware of every dollar you spend and making sure it aligns with your values and goals. Instead of just buying something because it's on sale or because you're bored, you ask yourself, does this purchase make my life better in a meaningful way? For example, I used to buy trendy clothes all the time. I thought they would make me feel happier or more confident. But after a few days, the excitement faded and the clothes just sat in my closet. I realized I wasn't spending money in a way that truly made me happy. So I started asking better questions. Will this add value to my life, or will I still love this in 6 months? This small shift changed everything. A good trick is to create a 48-hour rule for big purchases. When you feel the urge to buy something expensive, wait 48 hours. During that time, think about whether you really need it or if it's just an impulse. You'll be surprised how many things you decide not to buy. This not only helps you save money but also strengthens your self-discipline. Learning to say no to yourself is a powerful skill. In English, we often talk about delayed gratification. This means resisting an immediate reward so you can get a bigger, better reward later. It's like skipping dessert today so you can enjoy feeling healthy and fit tomorrow. Or not buying the latest phone now so you can travel to your dream destination next summer. There's another great expression: keeping up with the Joneses. This phrase means trying to match your neighbors or friends by buying things just to show off. It's a dangerous trap because you spend money you don't have to impress people who might not even care. Once you break free from this mindset, you feel lighter and happier. By practicing conscious spending, you start to notice the difference between wants and needs. You learn to focus on what truly matters to you. Maybe it's family experiences, education, or building your own business. You'll see your savings grow and your stress shrink. This mindset doesn't just make you better at handling money, it makes you stronger in life. You become more intentional, more focused, and more self-aware. You'll also sound more natural when using real-life English expressions like splurge, impulse buy, and value for money. These are words that help you connect with others and share your story in a more powerful way. Let's dive into another important piece of the money puzzle: goals. Setting clear financial goals is like using a map on a long journey. Without a map, you might end up lost, spending time and energy going in circles. But with clear goals, every step you take feels more focused and motivating. Start with simple questions. What do I want to achieve in the next year? Maybe it's saving for a vacation, paying off credit card debt, or building a small emergency fund. Then think bigger. What about the next 5 years? You might dream of owning a house, starting a business, or retiring early. When you write these goals down and see them in front of you, they become real. A powerful expression to remember is visualize your future. Picture yourself living in that beach house or walking through the streets of Paris without worrying about money. Visualization keeps your motivation alive when you feel tempted to give up. Breaking big goals into smaller, manageable steps is key. Let's say you want to save $5,000 this year. That might sound scary at first. But if you break it down, it's about $417 each month, or roughly $14 a day. Suddenly, it feels doable. You can skip a fancy dinner, make coffee at home, or cancel a subscription, and you're already getting closer to your dream. Another phrase to learn is set it and forget it. This means automating your savings so the money goes into your savings account automatically every month. You don't have to think about it or fight temptation every time. Automation helps you stick to your goals without relying on willpower alone. When you share your goals with supportive friends or family, it makes them even stronger. In English, we say accountability buddy. This is a friend who checks in on you and helps you stay committed. It's like having a workout partner at the gym but for your finances. All these strategies help you grow not only your bank account but also your self-confidence. You'll learn to use real English phrases like crush your goals, stay on track, and celebrate small wins. Celebrating small milestones is important. Maybe you saved your first $500. Treat yourself to something small but meaningful. You'll feel encouraged to keep going. When you build this strong foundation of goals, life starts to feel more exciting and less stressful. You're not just drifting day by day, you're steering your life towards something bigger and better. And that is a feeling no shopping spree can ever replace. Today, let's uncover one of the most overlooked secrets to financial success: mindset. Many people think managing money is all about math, but in reality, it's more about your beliefs and emotions than you might imagine. If you believe you're bad with money, you'll act in ways that prove that belief true. But if you start telling yourself, I'm learning to be great with money, your actions will slowly start to match this new story. A useful phrase in English is money mindset. It describes the way you think and feel about money, whether you see it as something positive that helps you grow or something stressful that causes fear. If you see money as a tool instead of a problem, you begin to make smarter choices naturally. Another important concept is abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. People with a scarcity mindset believe there's never enough. They're always worried about losing what they have. On the other hand, people with an abundance mindset believe there are plenty of opportunities and that they can always create more value. This doesn't mean you ignore reality, it means you focus on possibilities instead of limits. One simple exercise to build a healthy money mindset is writing down things you're grateful for every day. Maybe it's having a safe place to live, a job that pays the bills, or even the ability to learn and grow. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, and that makes you feel more secure and confident. Learning to reframe challenges is also powerful. For example, instead of saying, I can't afford this, try saying, how can I afford this? This small change transforms your brain from a state of helplessness to a state of problem solving. It pushes you to think creatively and find solutions rather than just giving up. Expressions like invest in yourself, shift your mindset, and think long-term are common in English and show a positive, proactive approach to life. These are not just words, they are invitations to change how you live every day. Another key point is avoiding comparison. In English, we say comparison is the thief of joy. When you constantly compare your situation to others, you lose sight of your own progress and dreams. Focus on your journey, your goals, and your unique path. When you build a strong, positive money mindset, you become unstoppable. You'll notice that you start seeing opportunities everywhere and feel more confident making decisions that support your goals. Your bank account will thank you, and so will your future self. Let's talk about one more game-changing habit: tracking and reviewing your progress. Just like athletes watch game videos to improve their performance, you can look at your financial game tapes to see where you can improve. This is one of the most powerful ways to stay motivated and make sure you're moving in the right direction. Start by checking your expenses regularly. Some people do it every week, others once a month. Find what works for you, but make it a non-negotiable habit. In English, we often say keep tabs on something, which means to carefully watch or monitor it. Keeping tabs on your spending helps you understand exactly where your money is going and whether it matches your goals. When I started doing this, I was shocked to see how much I was spending on little things: quick snacks, random apps, extra delivery fees. These expenses felt small at the moment, but when I added them up, they turned into a huge wave of lost money. That's when I learned the expression death by 1,000 cuts. It means small, repeated actions that eventually cause big damage. Creating a simple monthly money date with yourself can be powerful. Sit down with a coffee or tea, look over your bank statements, and ask yourself important questions. Am I sticking to my budget? Did I save as much as I planned? Did I overspend on things that didn't truly matter? These honest check-ins help you adjust your plan before it's too late. This is also a great time to celebrate wins. Maybe you paid off a credit card, built your emergency fund a little higher, or avoided unnecessary shopping for a whole month. Celebrating these milestones is just as important as noticing mistakes. It keeps your spirit high and your motivation strong. A few helpful expressions to learn and use are stay accountable, course correct, and make adjustments. These show that you're taking an active role in your own journey, not just watching from the sidelines. Tracking also helps you see patterns in your emotional spending. Maybe you notice that you spend more when you're stressed, lonely, or celebrating. Recognizing these patterns is a big step toward building healthier habits, not only with money but in life overall. When you combine tracking with a positive mindset and clear goals, you create a powerful system that almost runs itself. You start feeling proud every time you make a smart decision, and you build trust with yourself. In the end, this trust is more valuable than any expensive purchase because it gives you real freedom and peace of mind. Finally, let's bring everything together by talking about building a life of true financial freedom. Financial freedom doesn't mean you have millions in the bank or that you never work again. It means having choices. It means waking up in the morning and knowing that you control your money instead of your money controlling you. Imagine having the power to choose a job you love, take a break when you need it, or support a cause that's important to you, all without worrying if your next paycheck will cover your bills. That's the heart of financial freedom: options, security, and peace of mind. A key part of this is living below your means. Many people think that as they earn more, they should spend more. But the smartest people keep their lifestyle simple and let their savings grow quietly. This is where the phrase wealth whispers comes in. It means true wealth doesn't need to show off. It quietly builds in the background while you enjoy a meaningful life. Another powerful idea is investing in assets, not liabilities. Assets are things that put money in your pocket, like investments, rental properties, or a side business. Liabilities, on the other hand, take money out of your pocket, like expensive cars or luxury gadgets that lose value quickly. Learning this distinction helps you make decisions that grow your financial future instead of draining it. An inspiring English phrase is make your money work for you. This is the idea that instead of just working for money all your life, you put your money into places where it can grow and create more money. Even small investments, like buying books to improve your skills or taking a course to learn something new, can pay off hugely in the long run. Another tip is to focus on passive income, which is money you earn regularly without actively working for it, like royalties, dividends, or online business income. Building streams of passive income gives you even more freedom to live life on your terms. As you continue this journey, keep using and practicing helpful English phrases like financial independence, build wealth, and long-term thinking. Each phrase isn't just vocabulary, it's a mindset shift and a new way of seeing your future. Remember, this story isn't about restriction or sacrifice, it's about empowerment. It's about choosing a life where you can say yes to what truly matters and no to what doesn't serve you. You are the author of your financial story, and every decision you make is a new chapter. Thank you for being a part of English Podcast Zone.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Rise rapidly, as in price. Skyrocket. Beyond the ability to direct the actions of something. Out of control. Plan the way to spend money in order to save more. Budget. Assign. Allocate. To be honest. To say it directly. Frankly speaking.
Let's try that faster.
Assign. Allocate. Beyond the ability to direct the actions of something. Out of control. To be honest. To say it directly. Frankly speaking. Plan the way to spend money in order to save more. Budget. Rise rapidly, as in price. Skyrocket.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Skyrocket. The ratings for this TV show have skyrocketed in the past month. Skyrocket. Her popularity skyrocketed after she won the competition. Skyrocket. The company's profits skyrocketed with their new advertising campaign. Out of control. I really need to learn how to budget because my spending is out of control. Out of control. Her anger was out of control when she learned that they had killed him. Out of control. His driving was out of control. Budget. My roommates and I really need to start budgeting the money we spend on food. Budget. Her family has started to budget the money they spend on shopping. Budget. He needs to start budgeting his time better. Allocate. The teacher allocated tasks to different students. Allocate. I need to allocate my study time between my different courses. Allocate. He allocated the prize money to different charities. Frankly speaking. Frankly speaking, you should break up with him. Frankly speaking. Frankly speaking, the government is just trying to get away with raising taxes again. Frankly speaking. To be frank, I don't think this is a good decision.